everybody. This is the Lamley Saturday Showcase, and we get to kick it off with a little preview. This little orange beauty is the latest release of the Matchbox 1971 Nissan Skyline 2000 GTX. This is what, the third or fourth version. We'll actually get to that in just a second. Coming in a 9-pack near you soon in the coming months. This one was sent by Mattel for me to preview with other 9-pack models, but I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek before I get to that preview of this model coming out. Why am I showing this? Well, I'll show you this one. This is the Datsun 510 Rally. It's the latest color coming in the F case, the 2018 F case, so it should be on store shelves very, very soon. And along with this red version of the Datsun 510 Rally, you might see this. This is the Mazda CX-5. Now, what do these all have in common? You've probably figured it out, or you've seen the title of the stupid video, right? Japanese cars by Matchbox. I'm not saying JDM. I might hint JDM because there is some definite JDM among the Matchbox cars that they've done. But Japanese cars done by Matchbox. Mazda, Datsun, Nissan, quite a few others like Toyota. There is a long history of Japanese cars with Matchbox going way back into the 80s, 70s, 90s, 60s. But we're going to stay in the last 10 or 15 years. I'm going to showcase some of the castings, not every release because that would mean a 2-hour video, but just some of the castings. But I want to do that based on these recent releases. I showed you the Datsun 510. This is only the second official, well, I guess actually the third official release. You have this one in red. Last year, it was also released in orange. This was its debut color. Started with these 6 spokes, blank sides, details on the top, as most of you know. And then running change to, I think, the intended wheel, which was the disc wheel. But in between that, there was this very special one of, I think, about 50, maybe 100. I think they produced 100 of this special JCCS release that actually has the side deco on it as well, released in this plexiglass acrylic case. Those are all the Datsuns outside of those old ones, but again, let's just stay in the last 15 years that have been released by Matchbox. It's only the Datsun 510, but there's obviously been a fair amount of Nissans as well. You're very familiar with the Skyline. What are the other releases of the Skyline? Well, last year, I think we're only going to see that 9-pack version in 2018. In 2017, we saw 2. We saw this matte blue, sky blue Skyline, and as you know, there are 2 versions of each Skyline, 2 interior versions designated by the harness on the seat. There's either a seatbelt or a racing harness, and then a correlating engine. This was the 2017 release in matte blue, but there was also this special Matchbox Gathering of Friends release with Hot Wheels Real Riders. This was released at the Gathering of Friends, produced by Matchbox as well. But I'm getting ahead of myself because there was also the debut of the Nissan Skyline in 2016 in silver or gray, whatever you want to call it. And I think something that's kind of fun, just to show you a little bit of the history of these. All of the models outside of the Gathering model have had the 1971 rear license plate. But of the very first versions, and this never made it to the stores, actually had the GTR badge on the back. This was a mistake made by Matchbox because as soon as I got it back, they go, wait, this isn't a GTR, this is just the standard GTX. And so it was removed and switched to the 1971. Cool, right? Has Matchbox done other Nissans? Well, of course they have, including this very current release, the Nissan Junior pickup. We've seen this one in baby blue. We're going to see another version this year, I think in gray. I could be wrong on that. What else have they done? Well, they've done actually quite a few Nissans, at least in this case. Here is the Nissan Xterra. This one is from the Superfast version, Superfast release from about 10 or 12 years ago. This was a ROW, meaning rest of world version, so you could only find it in Europe, Australia, South America, etc. They did another version with, what is it, like a canoe or surfboards on the top. And it has all of the Xterras had the rear opening panel. Now the Xterra is coming back this year. You may have seen part of it on the Instagram account from Matchbox. It is coming back. I don't think it's going to have the opening piece. So that is the Nissan Xterra. They have also done the Nissan Z. This is one of the versions. This was the Nismo version, which I thought was very, very cool with the Nismo Deco. Here's one of the more unique ones, the new Nissan Cube. This you could call JDM because it has the right-hand drive, and the, this off-centered window is actually reversed from what we see in the United States because of the right-hand drive. So the Nissan Cube, I think they did 2 or 3 releases of that. And then it's not a Nissan, but it kind of is, the Infiniti G37 Coupe. Only 2 releases of that one. This one is the debut in blue, and then it was also released in gray. Mazda. That is the Mazda CX-5. We see this in 2018. We have seen other Mazdas released. Mazda Miata, or the Mazda MX-5, whatever you want to call it. This is the most recent release, just in stores in the last few weeks, in blue with the white 5 spokes. That will be that is a 9-pack version. They're doing a lot of cool 9-pack models this year. That follows the 2017 release in gray with the tri-spoke wheels. Not terribly fond of this version, but the first 2 versions I really like. Going backwards, I showed you the Nissan Skyline from 2017 Gathering of Friends. Here is the Mazda MX-5 from the 2016 dinner. Kind of a loose homage to the 787B in orange and green. That followed the first release, still probably my favorite, in bright red. Very cool looking version. Oh, I got one more Mazda. The Mazda 2. It is from Superfast from several years ago. And you can see it looks cool with the 5-spoke wheels. Not necessarily a racing deco, but a sport deco. We can go in all kinds of directions, so I think we should go with another very recent release. This is the Honda Civic. Released in 2018. Been on the pegs, for only a month or 2. Obviously, this is the Honda Civic, but did you also know that Matchbox has done the Honda Civic Type R? You might be able to call this one JDM because it has the right-hand drive, and this Type R was never released here in the United States. This is a Superfast version. You can see how cool this version is. This one's become highly desirable by Honda collectors. You want to go polar opposite? Then I show you this one. This is the Honda Insight. Matchbox did it. They did an excellent version of it. I don't think it excites anyone particularly, but if you are into really nice castings of cars, no matter what the car, this one is pretty cool. All right, and the last one, and this one is still going strong, is the Honda Ridgeline. Now, this one is also from the Superfast line. You can see all of the detail on this one in the kind of a plum color. Several releases. It seems like we get a new Ridgeline every year. That is Honda. It's WRX STI 2015. I thought this casting got a little scrunched, but it is one to be looking for. Now, there is a chance, I don't know if it's a good chance, but there is a chance as you're looking for it, you might find one with white wheels. This was not, it was intended to have gold wheels. The first examples, just like that Skyline I showed you with the GTR badge, the first ones were shown with these white wheels. I think Matchbox then called the factory and said change it to golds, but there could be some white wheel versions out there that might show up. That's the second release, is that gold wheeled version. This is the first from last year. Again, not too fond of the casting, but I like the car a lot, so I'm going to keep it. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is the second WRX Police. Here is an example from the first. They've done several versions of this one. It's the Subaru Impreza WRX 2007. So here is one version in black, also with gold wheels. I'd love to see this one come back because it just looks so good. It's such a great casting. And we're all kind of into these classic Subarus. You see that with the bug eyes that Hot Wheels has done. And now you see this one and you're like, yeah, we could see that again. Speaking of police cars, now we're starting to go back to some of the castings that were released in the last 5 to 7 years. This is the Mitsubishi Evo Police. This was from 60th anniversary, I believe, right? Yeah, 60th anniversary there on the back. Full decos on this one. That's not the only Mitsubishi they've done, but they've also done this one. This is the Mitsubishi what is it? The Triton pickup, L200. I think this is the first release in this kind of candy apple red. 2 Mitsubishis if you're looking for more Japanese cars to collect from Matchbox. All right. I believe we've gone through Nissan, through Datsun, through Mazda, Mitsubishi, Honda. There's one missing, right? It is Toyota. We are not going to see Toyota, at least for the time being. We've seen a lot of Matchbox Toyotas, but just like Hot Wheels, Mattel doesn't have the license, or maybe they're working it through. I don't know. But right now, we're not going to see any Toyotas, and that includes the Land Cruiser, which the FJ40, which I love. Several colors of this one. I have all of them. That's one classic Toyota. Here's another one for you 4Runner fans. I think I even did a Saturday showcase on this one. This is my favorite version in kind of this tan color with the white rims. A lot of off-road Toyotas, because if you go Land Cruiser, then 4Runner, then you also have 2 Toyota Tacomas. This is the Lifeguard version. This is another Gathering Dinner model. You can see this is an 1980s SR5 Tribute with the Toyota racing stripes. How cool is that one, right? And then they surprised us by releasing another Toyota Tacoma. This time, the more recent Toyota Tacoma. We only saw one version because clearly whatever happened with the license happened. So we've only seen this one version in a very cool tan color. And of course it has the removable tent. So no interior on this one because of the tent piece. But it also means that they could put other things on it if they wanted to. All right, those are the off-road Toyotas. And then I was thinking, man, maybe they've done some others. They've done Supras and things back in the past, but outside of the window that I'm showing. So yeah, Prius. I'm actually fond of this casting. We've seen 2 versions, one with like a taxi version. This is the plain version. But this is an excellent, excellent casting. And again, like the Insight, why not? If you want the variety of cars. Then 2 of Toyota's brands. The defunct Scion. This is the XB. We've seen a lot of releases of this one. I like this one. In this, whatever call it, toxic green. Antifreeze green. Perfect for this kind of car. And last but not least, another favorite Matchbox casting of mine. This is the Lexus GS430 VIP, right? This is the super fast version in black. I am begging our friends over at Matchbox, once Toyota gets back in the mix, to bring this casting back. It was current when it was first released in 2007. Now it's just kind of got that cool VIP feel to it. Put it on the 5 spokes, make a white version with 5-spoke wheels on it, those racing 5 spokes, you know, like these. And you have one killer model, I think. All right, there you go, guys. That is your Saturday showcase. Lots of cool Japanese cars. Now, the key is, once you know what these castings are, is to find all of the versions. Some of them are going to be incredibly difficult to track down, are going to cost a fair amount of money, but ultimately these are very, very cool models and very much worth pursuing. If there's one of these castings you'd like me to feature, all of the releases, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your feedback, and maybe I can do a showcase soon on one of these castings. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. More to come. Bye.